Now, Mark Zuckerberg got up in front of Georgetown University today and said how much he really cherishes free speech, because it's not like he literally bans people for having certain opinions and prescribes what opinions you're allowed to have by making that a warning. How dare you even post an image of Alex Jones, for example? Big Zuck is watching. Well, now he's cast himself and his company, reports Axios under the headline, Mark Zuckerberg doubles down on free speech, as champions of free speech. This is truly clown world stuff. In a 45-minute talk, he said, quote, "I believe we have two responsibilities: to remove content when it could cause real danger as effectively as we can." Unless it's literally entire pages devoted to wanting to assassinate Trump, then they stay up for months and months and months. And to fight to uphold as wide a definition of freedom of expression as possible, not allow the definition of what is considered dangerous to expand beyond what is absolutely necessary. This is a company that literally banned me for no reason whatsoever, and then when they finally came out with a reason, they said it was because I interviewed Tommy Robinson 3 years ago on a completely different platform. Is that a wider definition of freedom of expression as possible? Is shadow banning conservatives? Remember back in the day, before all this occurred, before the social credit score was brought into fruition, they literally had people removing trending topics from their trending list if they were conservative talking points, even if they were organically trending. Zuckerberg said, quote, "I believe people should decide what is credible, not tech companies. When it's not absolutely clear what to do, we should err on the side of free expression." The tech companies literally decide that because they prescribe the opinions you're allowed to have. He got up in front of Congress, as did Sundar Pichai, and said they don't remove content based on partisan issues. That's been disproven time and time again, with my banning, with Alex Jones's banning, with Laura Loomer's banning, with Milo Yiannopoulos' banning. Again, complete and total BS. And by the way, they still haven't released the information, which they're legally required to do, on why they banned me. So that continues to move forward legally. Says the big picture, Facebook's scale and impact has become a flashpoint for political criticism in the US and around the world. Of course, they will have a big moral panic about Russians buying $3,000 worth of ads on Facebook. But when you've got a company that has 2.2 billion users literally prescribing the opinions those users are allowed to have, that's not election meddling at all, is it? Absolute relentless BS. Meanwhile, in France, also on the issue of free speech, headline, deputy editor of Le Figaro condemned for saying everyone has the right to hate religion. This was a guy called Yves Thirard, who was condemned by other journalists after arguing during a television appearance that Islamophobia doesn't exist because everyone has the right to hate religion. Bearing in mind, this was a country that suffered two massive jihadist terror attacks. The first one, the attack on Charlie Hebdo, was because the cartoonist had expressed that very same opinion that the right to hate a set of beliefs shouldn't be banned, shouldn't be made illegal, shouldn't be met with violent slaughter. Now journalists, talking heads in France, are siding with the free speech advocates? No, literally with the same sentiment that those ISIS jihadists took with them as they brutally gunned down cartoonists in Paris, France in January 2015. That's the side they've chosen. So he basically said these comments in the context of a discussion surrounding the banning of the Islamic veil in public, which is supposed to be the law in France. It is never enforced. As well as the recent murder of 4 people at a police station in Paris by a man who had converted to Islam. So a member of France's National Rally Party asked the president of the regional council in France to tell a veiled Muslim woman accompanying her son to remove her hijab. This woman refused to do so, and then she accused the party itself, which was merely calling for the law to be enforced, of whipping up a surge of hatred. And Thirard, the deputy editor of Le Figaro, which is a big newspaper in France, responded by saying he had once left a bus because he saw a woman wearing the full veil and that Islamophobia does not exist because everyone has the right to hate religion. Apparently not. Now we only have the right to side with literal jihadist terrorists who hate free speech. So he was absolutely slaughtered for simply saying that you should have the right to hate a set of beliefs if they are barbaric, arcane, and backwards. Meanwhile, in Denmark, headline, nearly half of immigrant descendants in Denmark say criticizing religion should be illegal. These are the people we're bringing in, and this is what they believe. What could possibly go wrong? Nearly 50% of descendants of non-Western immigrants in Denmark think it should be illegal to criticize religion, a sharp contrast with the numbers of ethnic Danes. 48% of descendants said criticizing religion should be illegal. Only 42% of first-generation immigrants who have been in Denmark for 3 years or more said the same. So the more recent arrivals are actually more anti-free speech than the older immigrants. For ethnic Danes, the number who want to get rid of the freedom to criticize religion was dramatically lower at only 20%. But when those ethnic Danes are being replaced at a rapid pace, what do you think is going to happen to freedom of speech across Europe? Meanwhile, in Sweden, the progressive utopia, potential bombing after powerful explosion at Swedish police station. I do not even write articles about this anymore. I used to make videos about Sweden probably 2 or 3 times a year. Don't even bother anymore because this is just like every night. Every night you read the headlines, oh, there was an explosion here, there was gunfire here, there was a stabbing here. Now a police station in the Swedish city of Staffanstorp was targeted by an explosive device, with witnesses describing the blast as loud and powerful. The explosion occurred in the early hours of Monday morning and caused damage to the main door of the building. Literally every night I go into Swedish media and it's explosion here, explosion here, explosion here. They don't even deliver the mail to some of these migrant-heavy areas in Stockholm, in Malmo, and these other places because it's too dangerous to do so. And Swedes have just accepted this. This is their cultural enrichment. This is their progressive utopia. In a related story, nearly 1/5 of Sweden's population is now foreign-born. Nearly 1 in 5 people living in Sweden was born in a foreign country, newly released statistics have revealed. According to Statistics Sweden, 19.1% of Sweden's population, nearly 2 million people, were born outside the country. They forecast that in 2040, the majority of people in Sweden will not be ethnically Swedish. Good luck with that.